Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Zac Boam, and I'm a sales engineer with Imperva Company. I wanted to welcome you to our multi-part video series on Imperva Cloud Web Application Firewall Basics. In this series, we're going to discuss topics such as how do I onboard an application into the WAF? Once I've onboarded my application, how do I create policy and custom rules and apply them to specific domains or entire accounts? How do I interpret security events when invariably they arise? And everything in between. I appreciate you joining me on this journey, and I thank you very much for your time. Hi everybody, I'm Zac Boam, and I'm a sales engineer with Imperva Company. I want to welcome you back to our multi-part video series on Imperva Cloud Web Application Firewall Basics. The topic for today's video will be how do I create sub-accounts in the Imperva Cloud WAF console, and also what use cases would make them so important. Let's jump in and let's take a look. Okay everybody, what we're looking at here is the home page of my Imperva Cloud WAF console. A couple of things I want to call out about the account structure of Imperva. Number one, when you look at this current account tab up here, you'll note what account you're currently in. Now since I don't have any currently available sub-accounts, I'm in the parent account, which is my Zac Boam demo account. But when I create a sub-account here in a moment, you'll see it populate under this drop-down. The other thing to note is that each account is going to have a unique identifier. This is the unique account ID that you would utilize if you were going to interact with the console in any form with APIs. So keep in mind that any parent account has a unique identifier, but also each sub-account itself has a unique identifier. When you're looking at the applications that have been onboarded into the Imperva Cloud WAF, you'll note that each of the applications will be available only in the account for which it was onboarded. So since I don't have any sub-accounts, my two applications have both been onboarded into my parent account. Now, a potential use case where sub-accounts may become particularly useful. I only have two applications, but I work with customers on a daily basis who have dozens, hundreds, or in certain cases even thousands of applications which have been onboarded to the WAF. And it can become extremely unruly very quickly, very hard to manage, and adds a lot of complexity. Now, in order to minimize that complexity or to increase your ability to manage them, you can create a sub-account. And you can group websites based off of domain names, based off of application security teams, based off of application development teams. However you decide that you want to organize those applications, you can then either onboard them or move them from the parent account to a sub-account. Now, let's talk about the actual use case or how we would create this sub-account here. So the first thing you're going to do is click on the Account tab in the top right here. You'll click on Account Management. After you've gone to Account Management, you'll come all the way down here to Sub-Accounts. And in the Sub-Accounts menu, you'll see it just like everything else in the Imperva console populate with a big blue button. We're going to go ahead and click this Add Sub-Account here. And because this is a demo, I'm just going to name it something like Demo Sub-Account. But like I said before, you could give this some descriptive name that identifies each of the applications that would be onboarded beneath that. So you could say Application Security Team 1 or 2, or Application Development Team, or you could name it after the domain if you wanted to as well. Once I've created this sub-account, you'll notice that I got a sub-account successfully created status message up here. Now, there's a couple things that you can do here. Number one, I mentioned it just briefly, but you can actually onboard new applications into a sub-account. These applications will only be available in the sub-account, so they won't appear in the parent account. And if you have any users who have role-based access control associated only with a sub-account, they will only be able to interact with the applications onboarded in this account. They won't be able to interact with applications onboarded at the parent account. Now, like I said, you can onboard a new website if you haven't already onboarded it to the WAF, and you would follow this typical onboarding procedure in this onboarding wizard. Now, in my case, because I've already onboarded my two applications, I really just want to move one application from the parent account to the sub-account. So I'm going to click on this drop down here, and you'll notice the name has changed from my parent account to the sub-account. And I'm going to go back to the parent account where my applications currently live. I'll click on the Application tab. I'll come over here to my application. I want to move my zacsdemoportfolio.com site. So I'll click on this More button, these three dots, and I will click Move Site. Now this isn't a drop-down, so you either have to have the account ID, which I showed you earlier, or you can just use the name. So Demo Sub-Account is where I'm going to move it. Once I've clicked OK, it will automatically move this site from my parent account to the sub-account. And let's go there and let's take a look at this really quick. One of the key things I want to call out when you onboard a website to a subaccount is that all of the rules and policies that were associated with this site have also been migrated to the subaccount. So you can take a look at the WAF policies here, and you'll see that these policies still exist. And any rules that were associated specifically with that website have also been migrated. So a couple of takeaways from this discussion today. Number one, subaccounts are really useful to decrease complexity or to increase your ability to granularly manage individual applications. So you can create subaccounts for any reason, and they're useful for organizations of any size. But particularly if you find that you're getting challenges with onboarding dozens of applications, hundreds of applications, you can segment them out with subaccounts. Additionally, role-based access control is designed almost specifically for subaccount use. So you could create roles to use in the parent account, but more specifically, if you're going for a least privilege type deployment, subaccounts really extend your ability to create least privilege. If you have any questions about how to create subaccounts, use cases where they may be helpful, or anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to our partners at Network Consulting Services Incorporated. They'd be happy to help. Thank you.